Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mr. Cygnus, back finally for the dual audio commentary I was promising you guys for quite some time. Unfortunately, it was my fault that this didn't come out earlier, as my side of the audio was all screwed up. So anyways, I want to introduce to you guys SilentScope.
How's it going, guys?
Alright, nice to have you on, SilentScope. Anyways, so this audio commentary is basically a lot of SilentScope's idea, to tell you the truth. Before I even started back on staff, I noticed that there was an abnormal amount of threads started by people in the WCR member section about girl problems. And so SilentScope, I was reading one of his threads, which is a very popular thread, and I have to agree in a lot of the points that he was making. So, I ended up contacting SilentScope and saying, hey, dude, let's make a dual audio commentary, and instead of talking about Warcraft today, we're going to be a little off topic. We're going to be talking about ladies, but hopefully this helps you guys out, because, I guess anybody can really use it besides Warcraft players. But I guess what I'll do is I'll introduce myself, then SilentScope's going to introduce himself, and we're going to give you guys a little bit of a background on who we are and why we, of all people, should make an audio. So, anyways, I'm Mr. Cygnus. I've been working, I'm about 28 years old, just turned 28 actually, and, I've been, through the college life for quite some time, 4 years of college and going into chiropractic college myself, so, I've been around the block. And as for my work, actually I work as a sports therapist, and I do work for a professional baseball team, and I do work a little bit with football as well, and a little bit with mixed martial arts. But the whole reason I tell you that is when I'm traveling with these guys, we go all across the United States, and these guys are professional players. They're just professional pickup artists, they have years and years and years of experience, and I've been pretty lucky to be able to hang out, observe and try out my own, successes and failures, and, it's all about learning and experiencing. So, I basically just let you guys know, I'm not trying to, brag or anything. I'm just trying to say that I have a pretty wide range of experience. It's not like I'm local just to California. I've been across the United States, and, basically a lot of experience. So, anyways, I guess that's pretty much all I can really think of about myself related to this topic. So I'll hand the mic over to SilentScope.
How's it going, guys? This is SilentScope. One second, my laptop's falling off my lap. There we go. I pretty much have been into this for quite a while now. I started since I was maybe in let's say 10th, 11th grade. I got really into the whole theory of this pickup stuff, where I'd go on the internet and read all these articles about it. And I put out a bunch of audio commentaries on that, actually. And just recently, I've kind of changed a lot of the ways I think about this. And so I put out a new article on in the member chat, and I'm doing this audio with Cygnus. So I've spent a lot of time training guys, actually in person, to improve this aspect of their lives. And so we're doing audio right now. It's going to last maybe 45 minutes or so, and we're going to basically lay out for you guys how to go from not knowing someone to getting a date with them.
Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, we filtered into some pretty easy steps and some easy concepts to use, so it should be pretty good.
Yeah, sounds like a complete success right there. Your stuff is really gold, and through my experiences, I can also say I've got my fair share of lady friends who are just girlfriends of mine that I've always been able to pick their brains when I was younger. On what works, what doesn't work, and stuff like that, and I'm gonna try and fill in as much as I can in that direction. But I think that we're basically going to teach you guys. We're not trying to say this is how you get laid or this is how you get get a girlfriend. We're just trying to get you from point A, which a lot of people seem to have, is how do I meet a girl and what do I do, say, and how do I get to point B. So depending on the success of this audio, we may make a second audio commentary if people find this helpful.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So yeah. So anyways, your article, my friend. So why don't you go ahead and start off in the first topic?
So basically, what we're going to start off talking about is the whole idea of overcoming that anxiety you feel when it comes to talking to a stranger. Basically, how to overcome the fear, basically, of talking to them. And I want to explain that this doesn't happen overnight. You don't just wake up one day and have this this whole this whole like range of skills, when it comes to every scenario that comes up, every mistake you can make, whatever. It's something you progress with. It's something you pick up over time. It's something you got to practice. It's a skill set, to be honest. And so you got to start from from a place of being not that good at it, and over time you got to practice and get better slowly. A lot of guys go out, fail, and get down on themselves for not being as good as their friends or that guy they saw. And it's something you really got to just improve upon. The first time you started playing a sport, you weren't the best at it, but you keep going and you get better.
Exactly. What a great point. And it's so true, because the number one problem that most guys have is that fear. They're afraid of rejection. All guys are. No one wants to walk up to that girl and feel rejected. It's embarrassing. It's a bit of an ego blow too. But to tell you the truth, it's just like, just like playing a game. Not everyone is a grandmaster the first time they pick up the mouse and the keyboard.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You have to not be afraid of failure. So you need to put yourself out there in situations in which you're going to get more experience. Because to tell you the truth, women get a lot more experience than men. There's so many guys walking up to them and trying to, get their phone number or get in their pants or whatever. And that's why they put up that front. That's why women, they put up that fuck off sign on their forehead, because it doesn't matter how good looking you are or how good looking you're not. It's just, so after a while, some women, they actually want to just hang out with their girls or whatever, just go hang out, and they're tired of being approached. So the whole thing you need to do about yourself is come up confident, because no girl wants to, see some dude walk up and he's looking at the floor and he's holding his drink in front of him like a shield. So you need to present yourself a little bit. Don't you agree, my man?
Exactly, dude. A lot of guys just come off as if they're afraid of the whole situation, which is natural, because a lot of guys, they are. But you just can't be. You have to do it enough that you become familiar enough and comfortable enough with it that it doesn't scare you. Being nervous and having that, the small doubts and stuff, that's all cool, because you learn to just overcome them and ignore it. But being afraid of it and showing it, that's where you kind of fuck up. Because once you do it enough times, you're not afraid of it anymore. You're not afraid of what's going to happen. You're just nervous as you're going along. And so my theory is, you just do it as much as you need to get that fear out of the way, to the point where you can just actually start thinking, on the spot of what to say, what to do, without being too scared to act. And then from there on, just easy going. But the main hard point, the hard step to overcome, is the whole being afraid of it part. So you just got to go out and just talk to them nonstop. Just talk to girls until that fear just vanishes.
Yeah, well, to tell you the truth, the way I've seen it and the way I've experienced it and the way I've done it myself is, everyone already knows about this fear, okay? They're probably listening to, you're probably listening to audio commentary right now and saying, okay, yeah, you're not telling me anything new. I already knew that, it's hard to approach girls, so what do you do to fix it? Well, it's pretty simple. Well, first of all, the best thing you could probably do to start out is, first, don't even try talking to girls straight off, The best way to get your confidence up and learn how to talk to people is try making some guy friends, Why don't you try going to the basketball courts or go to the bowling alley or whatever you think you like to do. Try meeting new people and make a good friend here or there, because talking to a woman is a lot like talking to a guy.
Exactly.
If you're trying to pull off a stupid line, they're just not going to go for it. You got to do something different. You got to have some confidence. So, so if you don't have too many friends, the first thing you need to work on before even trying to get a girl is try to get some guy friends. Some guys, you want to have guys to go out with to begin with. You don't just want to show up at a party by yourself or, whatever. You want to, the first step is having friends